Yeah. What's good? This is your boy Tone DeShields the second. I'm joined with my guy LB. This is the Link Up. It's been a while. It's been a long time, but we try to tell y'all, man, we ain't beefing. It's we all good out here.
Right? It's just schedules, man.
Crazy.
Schedules is crazy, man. And you gotta, when you got different entities who got their own motion, you got to get in the pocket when people available. Like right now, for instance, Symone is somewhere calling courtside games.
Yeah, she calling courtside games in Dubai or something. I don't know. Like
right. She's somewhere calling courtside games, you know what I mean? And you already know what level she at when she get in this pocket. March Madness about to start. You know what I mean? So, you know, you got to catch me when you catch me. You got to catch Tone when you catch Tone. But it's a blessing when we all able to get together, man. You know, shout out to my guy, man. And Symone,
sure.
you know what I mean, the whole Linc Up crew.
For sure.
We're gonna make sure we bless the streets.
You know what I mean? That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta let them know you still here. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta flood it, but let them know you still here. So
that's a fact.
Yeah, man, we got some stuff to get into, dog. Like, first of all, make sure y'all smash that like button. Make sure y'all subscribe. We live on Laura Brunson's channel. We live on Chalk It Up Sports. We're definitely live on the Linc Up channel. Make sure you guys tune in. The NFL news is starting to really flood out. The NFL news is coming out, and a lot of moves are being made. A lot of guys are being signed. Trades are happening, and we all know all of these moves always circumvent back to the Philadelphia Eagles and the AJ Brown situation. So, you know, let's just try to peel it back layer by layer, right? We know AJ hasn't officially requested a trade, right? That's not. You know, some guys, it comes out, hey, they want to get traded. You know, we saw what Myles Garrett did. He penned that letter, whatever it may be. We know Max Crosby was very vocal about what was going on or what wasn't going on with the Raiders, right? We always heard stories about what those guys specifically said. And, you know, Max Crosby got the podcast, so you know how that go. But we never actually heard a quote from AJ Brown in regards to his future with the Philadelphia Eagles. It was always hearsay. He said, she said. You know, the closest thing we got to a quote was Howie Roseman at the Combine and Sirianni. Right. And they made it clear, at least Howie made it clear that, you know, I don't intend on trading AJ Brown. We're not in the business of getting rid of good players. Simple as that. But I wouldn't be doing my job if I don't listen. And that was interesting to me because technically he's right. You're not doing your job if you're not listening to no conversations, right? The Eagles don't get two Super Bowls in 8 years without listening to conversations. So to me, I heard that as, hey, we go on drive the price tag up and try to deter people because we're really not trying to trade them. But if you meet it, hey, then maybe we playing ball. So walk me through your perspective on this whole situation, though, because you know you've been voicing your opinion. I haven't caught everything, but I think I got a pretty good feel for how you feel about this thing.
So the way I feel about it is, you know, for starters, you know, he didn't really come out and formally request a trade. But when you talk about Myles Garrett, you talk about Max Crosby, even Micah Parsons, you know, a guy that came out and requested a trade. You talk about these guys that have come out and requested the trades. You didn't really see these guys play like they didn't want to be where they wanted to be at. These guys didn't show crazy body language or effort that showed that they didn't want to be where they was at. And that's what AJ Brown did. You know, he let his frustrations in the situation get to the point to where you could see on the field that he don't want to be here. Then all of the stuff in Twitter, like he didn't have to request a trade to make it seem like he didn't want to be here. And during the season, you know, I personally turned a blind eye to the way that he was acting because I actually really want him here. You know what I mean? I really do think that AJ Brown should be a Philadelphia Eagle. But now that we're in the offseason, and now that you kind of play back in your mind the way that he acted and just everything, the tweets, the stream saying, if you got me on fantasy, cut me. That's how you act when you don't want to be here. And then you get to the part to where there's, you know, obvious signs. We're listening. People are offering. You know what I mean? If you had to ask me, You know what I mean? Just being a fly on the wall, just assessing the situation. He looks like a player that don't want to be here. I mean, the guy read a book the year we won the Super Bowl. He was on the sideline reading a book, bro. You know, and we just got to call a spade sometimes, man. He don't want to be here. You know what I mean? That's my take on it. And, you know, I can't sit here and beg. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. And this is a guy that I have a great deal of respect for. We have had I've ran a campaign for the playoff game to help some children in Philly. He posted it on the stories and all of that.
There's rapport there.
Yeah, there's rapport there with me and AJ for sure, with the hurt season hats and stuff like that. But, you know, just being logically, just being a man is like, we can't beg nobody to stay nowhere. And you learn that from being a man. Like, you know what I mean? If a woman don't want to stay with you, you're going to get on your knees and beg. You know what I mean? Just to use that analogy. So it's like, he shows signs of somebody that don't want to be where he at, which confuses me though, Tone, to keep it a beam, because it's like, let's think about where he's at. How many receivers got more receiving yards than him in the last 5 years?
Not many.
Not that many, bro. How many receivers got the accolades that he got in the last 5 years? Those receiving yards with all pros, touchdowns in both Super Bowl, a Super Bowl ring. You know what I mean? This is a great situation for anybody. So I had to step back though, Tone, and I had to really look at the situation that he's trying to get away from so bad. You've been extended twice. You know what I'm saying? Money ain't an issue. Targets ain't an issue. For real, when you look at it in the grand scheme of things, you yourself have dealt with a different offensive coordinator every year as well. You know what I'm saying? So like if you have issues with if you truly got issues with your situation, then it's like, if the things that he's done and accomplished here can't make him happy, then where you going to find that at? Where you going to find that at?
I think you just laid that out perfectly, because I think, to your point, right, about
Mike, what up?
About oh yeah, shout out Mike, what's going on, bro? To your point about just accepting it for what it is, right? Me, I've always been on the side of the Eagles are better with AJ Brown than they are without AJ Brown, right? And I think because of how he has moved, because like you, I turned a blind eye. I overlooked it. I said, hey, you know, I don't know what's going on in this guy's head. We not in those locker rooms, so we can't try to predict or try to comment on what these guys' relationships are. And ultimately, we still not. So all we have to go off of is what we actually see. And that is the sideline stuff, the body language, getting opportunities and not coming through with those opportunities in big moments.
Right.
I've always had the theory that I think AJ looked a tick slower this year. Now, is that because of health? I know he's been dealing with the knee. Is that because of Jalen Hurts not getting him the ball in the right spot? Or is it because he wasn't committed to every route he ran? And that's a conversation that he left open to the masses because of how he's handled everything. The stuff off the field, right? Like you said with the live stream, cut me if I'm on your fantasy team, and stuff like that. Look, I never felt like AJ's opinion about the situation with the Eagles was wrong. And that's the thing that's kind of I always wrestle with. I never felt like his opinion on the offensive circumstance was wrong. I never felt like he said anything wrong about the Philadelphia Eagles' offensive struggles. He was actually spot on. Get right, or we're going to run up against a team and catch up, and they're going to catch us at the wrong time, and we're going to have to deal with that. And that's exactly what happened. But when you get the opportunities on those big moments as well, you don't come through as well. That's a problem for me. So I think AJ Brown is in a situation where, like you said, what are you looking for? What are you looking for at this point? Because statistically, like you said, the past 4 years, let's really do the science on AJ Brown's stats, right? I think AJ Brown's stats in the last 4 years, the Philadelphia Eagles. Listen to this. We got 2025, and it was a down year, by the way. 2025, 78 catches, 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. 2024, a Super Bowl season, by the way, where Saquon went crazy on the ground. So you got to feed that beast. 67 catches, over 1,000 yards, average over 16 yards of reception, 7 touchdowns. 2023, 106 catches, over 1,400 yards, 7 touchdowns. 2022, his first season with the Eagles, over 1,400 or almost 1,500 yards, 11 touchdowns, 88 catches. I mean, this guy has been ultra productive. There's not many wide receivers who's been as productive in the 4-year span that he has. He easily goes down as probably not probably. He easily goes down as a top 3 Eagles receiver of all time. You got to give him that.
He the best.
Because of what he's done. I'm not even mad at that sentiment.
Right. I think he's the best.
Because of what he's done, what he's accomplished, the All Pros, the Super Bowls, the Pro Bowl, the Pro Bowls. I mean, he's done a lot in these past 4 years. So if you ask me, and we're not even talking about his numbers with the Titans, he only has one season where he hasn't went over 1,000 yards. But if you do the science on his entire career, or his entire, what is this, his 8th season, he going to his 8th season, something like that, in his 7-year career thus far, A.J. Brown has over 500 catches, over 8,000 yards, 56 touchdowns. He's averaging well over 1,000 yards a season right now.
And this what people don't take into accountability. 5 of those seasons he's played with Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley, I believe. For 5 of those seasons,
yes,
he was still that productive. So when you ask the question of what is it that you're looking for, I can name a handful of wide receivers that would be happy, who get all the numbers and targets in the world, who would be happy to trade places with him. Because some of these guys want to win. Justin Jefferson would gladly swap places and situations with this guy. You've been extended twice. You got a valuable number 2 that's paid as well on your team. Your quarterback paid. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn. Who else? It's a bunch of guys that would love to switch opportunities with him, dog. For real, if you want to be for real.
And you playing with dogs. You're not playing with chump.
Yo, you haven't even missed the playoffs. You ain't never missed the playoffs since you've been over here.
Like, look, you can. Has Jalen Hurts had his hiccups? Yes. We're not sitting here it's not even a Jalen Hurts conversation, but we're not gonna say he's perfect either. Like Jalen Hurts has missed guys. We know that. But you've had and experienced your career highs with Jalen Hurts. So the theory, and I'm not saying this is what he's saying, but his actions may be saying that. I'm not saying, in theory, you're saying that you don't think you can get to the career pinnacle you want to get to with Jalen Hurts. But in my opinion, you've experienced the pinnacle of your career.
So what he's doing is see it's like a saying, like when you look to the left and to the right of you always want what other people don't have. You know what I'm saying? You want to go out there and have 1,700 yards, 15 touchdowns in a season and miss the playoffs. Like that's like loser shit. Like
he don't know, like shit come with that.
Shit come with that.
When guys get those kind of numbers, you got to think about what came with that. Think about what came with that. The losing come with that. The getting franchise tag like George Pickens just did. That's what come with that. It's a lot of stuff. And I did kind of catch some flack for like telling Eagles fans like, yo, like there's life after him, and there are guys that I believe that you could trade for, that you could get the same productivity for real. If you wanted to send him to a situation, I believe Drake London can give you what AJ Brown gives you. I firmly believe that. I believe Nico Collins can give you what AJ Brown gives you. You know what I mean? Because we don't even play the type of offense where we're asking guys where the passing game is everything to us. We don't play that type of offense here. So, although I do want AJ Brown here, this what it boils down to. If he don't get traded, can we trust him? Can we trust him if he don't get traded? Will he feel will it be resentment there if seemingly it feels like we drove the price up so high that nobody wanted it? You got Shore Park saying we should do right by him and send him to the Patriots since that's where he seemingly wants to go. No, the Patriots need to do right by us and give us 2 first-round picks or whatever we asking for. So let's stay there for a second. Right? So let's stay there. The price.
Yeah.
We saw what DJ Moore fetched, getting traded from the Bears to the Buffalo Bills. So the Buffalo Bills clearly fixed a dire need. They needed a number 1 there. DJ Moore is a number 1. He isn't top tier number 1, but he's a number 1 nonetheless. The Bills got DJ Moore.
He's a fringe number 1. He's not a clear number 1.
Yeah. I can roll with that. The Bills got DJ Moore and a 2026 5th-round pick in a trade with the Chicago Bears in exchange for a 2026 2nd-round pick, straight up. So DJ Moore, a guy who I don't think is as good as AJ Brown, got a 2026 second round pick. That's this year's draft, not next year's draft.
Mm-hmm.
So if DJ Moore got that, or if the Bears got a 2026 second round pick for DJ Moore, what you think AJ Brown gonna fetch?
Absolutely. That's why my last live stream was AJ Brown being worth his weight in gold because of what DJ Moore just brought to the table. DJ Moore has had 1,000-yard season the last 4 years, and you got a second round pick for him. You just got a second round pick for the guy. AJ Brown is at the minimum worth a first and a third. At the minimum. And I don't think it's going to happen with the Patriots because he's worth a first this year. You know what I'm saying? And we don't want the 32nd pick. We don't want the last pick in the first round.
And that's the part where I was trying to tell people. I was talking to my homie at work. He was like, "You think we should trade it to the Patriots?" I'm like, "The Patriots' first round pick doesn't excite me. It doesn't.
It don't. It really don't excite me either. You know what I mean? What's the difference between, like, you get the same value in the pick if you was to trade Tanner McKee to the Saints for their second round pick? Because it's the first pick in the second round, right behind the Patriots' last pick in the first round. You get you know what I mean? You get the same value in all actuality. But if you get that first this year and you get, I would do a first this year, and I would do, if it was the Patriots, I'll still take that first because we're not gonna act like it's not no value in that. I need their first and their second from this year, bro. I need their first and their second from this year, and I need Christian Gonzalez. Like, if you want AJ Brown, listen. A lot of guys, Tone, are not the piece that gets you over the hump. AJ Brown proved to be that. He proved to be the piece that can help get you over the hump. He proved to be a needle mover. So it's a lot of value there with AJ Brown. I understand he might not want to be here, and that's clearly where we could be. But then you got people trying to tell us our asking price too high. How? That wasn't it a first and a second for Devontae Adams? He was 30. He was 30. It was another wide receiver that was old as hell. Tyreek Hill was like 29, a first and a second. AJ Brown, what, 27? So no, the price is the price, man. The price is the price, and Howie Roseman shouldn't budge for nothing less than what he want.
Exactly. I mean, look.
But can we trust him though, Tone? If he don't get moved, can we trust him to come in here and put his feelings to the side and go out there and be the best version of himself if he don't get moved? That's the questionable part to me.
I like that angle though, because that speaks about that gets into the what if this don't happen? Because because there is a chance people may say, "Oh no, I don't want to give that up for AJ Brown," or because maybe they feel like they got other needs.
Right. And shout out to Andrew Nathan. I think I did get that Devontae Smith and Tyreek Hill age thing from you off X.
Yeah, and on top of that, we're not just talking about just trading for a player straight up. We're talking about the money too. The money too. If the Eagles trade AJ Brown, they're not trading him without convincing another team to take on some of that money. Because
and that's what people keep saying to me in these comments. You think we're gonna eat $40 million in dead cap? No, bro. Somebody gonna have to eat some of that. Somebody gonna have to pay some of that tab.
But that's gonna be a challenge, in my opinion, because you're asking for the first round pick and a second, and you want them to eat the money.
Hey, if you rate the way Vrabel running around here, bending over backwards for the man, do it. But if you win a Super Bowl, it's worth it.
Yes.
If you win a Super Bowl, it's worth it.
But from the Patriots' perspective, to your point, we all know how difficult it is to get back to that game. We know. We experienced it firsthand. We know how difficult it is to get back to that game. And sometimes it depends how you lose it too. Because people look at you funny, you feel that pressure, people got expectations. And the way the Patriots, in particular that offense, because I think the defense did their thing. But that offense, Drake May, how he played, that you don't shake that. That's and he's a young player. So we're gonna have to see how he bounced back from that. I do think Drake May is gonna be good in the long run. Don't get it twisted. But we know how history goes, man. They told us because Jalen Hurts lost his first Super Bowl, the odds of him getting back and winning another one is
damn near impossible.
Damn near impossible. The last guy to do it was what, Jim Kelly or something like that? No, Jim Kelly actually lost it. The last guy to get back and win it was when? That was like in the 80s or 90s?
I don't know, man. I think it only been like one guy.
The point is, Jalen Hurts is the only guy this century
to lose his first and get back.
to lose his first and get back and win his second. That doesn't happen.
Bro, I don't think nobody this century lost their first and got back. I think that was the actual stat, like losing your first and even going back, let alone to get back to win it. I don't think nobody. The Aaron Rodgers, has he been in two? No, Aaron Rodgers won his first though.
Aaron Rodgers won his first.
Right.
You know what? He only been the one.
I feel like, was it Big Ben? No, it wasn't
Big Ben. Big Ben won his first. Big Ben won the Super Bowl in like his second year. It was like his third year. Like
it wasn't Big Ben. I think they saying it was John. They're saying it was Elway.
It was Elway.
But did Mahomes lose his first?
No, he won his first.
Right.
He lost his second
to Brady, right? No.
Yeah.
To Brady.
He lost to Brady. Brady and the Bucks, yeah. So it was John Elway.
But yeah, a lot of people saying it was Elway.
Because remember, Elway got there early in his career, then he ain't getting back until they got Terrell Davis.
Right.
And then
Elway is an all-time great.
All-time great. You know, all he needed was the Super Bowls to add to the resume. He's an all-time great. But y'all get how difficult it is. So adding AJ Brown to that offense is going to help for sure. Don't get it twisted. But we know it's a lot more variables that go into getting back to that game. You need health on your side.
You need health on your side. You need a competent defense on the other side of the ball. It's just not just adding AJ Brown and then you getting back to that game.
Because you got to think about what the Eagles did when they got AJ Brown. They didn't just get AJ Brown and that was it. They added to the defense, right? They drafted well.
First of all, we paired AJ Brown. We paired AJ Brown already with another number one. Smitty was already here. You know what I mean? We paired AJ Brown with another number one quarterback. And honestly, Drake May, I think Drake May is good, but I don't really think he all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he's a good quarterback, and I think he's going to be good. Like, you know, so I'm not going to say he's great. I don't think he's that yet, but I think Drake May is proving he's a good quarterback.
Right.
And I think he's going to be good for the direction of his career. Now, can he win the big game? That's what's going to come down to. Would they be able to continue to build around? That's what's going to come down to.
But they seem to be the front runners. I heard something about Baltimore too, but what Baltimore just did with Max Crosby, they're out of it.
Nah, that's over. That's over with. So
they're out of it for sure. You got Max Crosby like 29 getting 2 first-round picks, but it's a different position. But Buffalo was out of it from what they did. You know what I mean? To get DJ Moore. The Ravens are out of it. 2 first-round picks on Max Crosby. You know what I mean?
Buffalo's out of it.
Yeah, Buffalo's out of it. Who else realistically besides the Patriots? They just let go of Stephon Diggs. You know what I'm saying? Who else realistically feels like that they are a piece away? I heard something about the Rams too, which is crazy to me. Maybe they're trying to get rid of Devontae Adams, but who else realistically feel like they're a piece away?
Well, the Rams just traded for Trip McDuffie, and I think they sent a first-round pick over there, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know.
Damn, that was the Rams who did that?
The Rams traded for Trip McDuffie. Let me double check the move real quick. Here it is right here. Whoa. All right, so peep this. The Rams and Chiefs agreed to trade sending all-pro cornerback Trip McDuffie to the Rams for a package of draft picks that includes the number 29 selection in the 2026 NFL draft. So the Rams already sent the first-round pick to the Chiefs for Trip McDuffie at corner.
Right.
They also sent 2026 5th and 6th round pick and the 2027 3rd round pick. So Trip McDuffie, a corner, an all-pro corner, got the Chiefs 4 draft picks, and the Chiefs needed it. The Chiefs need to rebuild. They need talent. They need young talent. So I like what the Chiefs are doing. Trip McDuffie is a talented corner. I am curious how he's going to shift their fortune because he is still a smaller corner, and they need bigger corners. That's always been their weakness. Their corners too small, but nonetheless. The Rams already traded their first round pick to get Trip McDuffie, so the Rams, that's out.
Right, and the Chargers the Chargers are in the mix.
Yeah,
from what I'm hearing, you know what I mean. But the Patriots remain at the top of the list.
Of course,
the Patriots remain at the top of the list. So you know,
and an AFC team,
right? You know, and this is the thing, man. At the end of the day, man, as long as the compensation is fair on all return, I feel like the Philadelphia Eagles will be just fine. Yeah, I feel like the Eagles will be just fine, man. I don't think losing AJ Brown. See, the whole division wants us to lose AJ Brown. You know what I mean? But I don't think losing AJ Brown is going to say the Eagles are not going to be able to be contenders again this year. I don't see it, man, because you still got Devontae Smith, who is a number 1 wide receiver in this league. You know what I mean? You got Devontae Smith, bona fide number 1 wide receiver in this league. You got some depth pieces who could come in and play on the other side. But if you're trading AJ Brown to a team, they need to be returning back their best wide receiver. Point blank, period. We need that best wide receiver back or that best cornerback, depending on who it is. And then we'll just go get another wide receiver or whatever, or do whatever we do.
Yeah, let's transition into that, right? The Devontae Smith angle of it, because, like we said, AJ Brown has never played with Chunk at the receiver position in Philadelphia. He always was paired with somebody that was legit, and he still got his numbers in spite of that. And then you add Saquon Barkley to the mix. You're still like, I think that's another part of it that always threw me is like, you're not playing with Chunk. Right. Ball not gonna get to you. You're not playing with guys that don't deserve to rock as much as you do. So, nonetheless, now we get to the Devontae Smith angle and even the Saquon Barkley angle, right? But mainly the Devontae Smith part. I think Devontae Smith can easily walk into this number 1 role. We know he's a number 1 talent, but he's had a number 2 role since AJ Brown has been here. Right. I think Devontae Smith is more than ready to step into the number 1 role. I think he's proven that he's durable. He's proven that he can handle the reps. He's proven that I think Devontae's even proven that his hands, in particular in 2025, his hands was more clutch.
Yeah, Devontae Smith has been extremely clutch for us. But both wide receivers have been doing their thing, bro.
Yes. Let's not admit it.
Yeah, they both been doing their thing as a tandem.
But hasn't it always seemed like, I don't know, you tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm tripping.
No, you're right. I already know what you're getting at. But when you need it, that's who Jalen going to, and he produced every time damn near. So that's the truth. I know exactly where you're going with that. That's the truth.
Yeah, and AJ's a game breaker. Don't get it twisted. We seen AJ have dagger moments. Like, for example, that Cleveland Browns game in 2024, they threw like a bomb on like 3rd down or something like that, and AJ iced the game. We've seen that.
It was like 4th and 5 on a goal route.
Yeah, and we've even seen a 4th down. AJ and Jalen Hurts connects with AJ on the sideline against the Giants, touchdown. We've seen that. We've seen Jalen Hurts and AJ have these game breaker moments, these high stakes, high value moments. But between the 20-yard lines, I've always seen Jalen Hurts, for the most part, hey, where's Smitty at? He gonna catch this.
Right. He identifies Smitty sitting in the zone a lot. Now, when you bring these guys in here who specialize in this zone read running style that Mannion and Gizzard and all of these guys we bring in and specialize in, and crossing routes for wide receivers, I can see next season Devontae Smith catching a 20-yard slant and taking it to the house like 3, 4, 5 times next year. I could just see that being a part of his highlight package next year, showing off his breakaway speed. We never really had offensive coordinators who were able to put him in those positions. So if it was me, man, honestly, if it was me, I would trade AJ Brown for some 1st-round picks, a 1st and a 2nd, and then I would put a package together for Drake London, who's still on a rookie deal.
Here's the thing, though. I think Atlanta loves Drake London.
They love him, but they'll trade him for a 1st and like a 4th. They'll send his ass to Philly for a 1st and a 4th.
You think so?
Hell yeah, because then that would give them 2 1st-round picks this year.
Because they've been, I don't know if they're bringing back Kyle Pitts or even paying him, because Kyle Pitts is what, a free agent this year, or he's due to get paid this year, something like that. I can't remember, but that offense became a Drake London offense more than a Kyle Pitts offense.
Did you hear this? Did you hear this? I don't know if this is true. Somebody said Jeff McClain came out with a story saying that AJ Brown requested the 2nd extension because he didn't want his dollar figure to be too much closer to Smitty after Smitty got his. He went and requested the 2nd one.
Well, the reality is
they're saying Jeff McClain actually reported that. I didn't look it up yet, but if Jeff McClain is saying that that's what happened, that AJ had to have so much more money than Smitty, if this is the type of individual that he is, then that's just all that shit just funny in the light, man, because character matters, man.
To your point about that, when the Eagles first traded for AJ, they immediately gave him 4 years, $100 million, $25 million a year.
Right.
Then that was the contract he was on.
Right.
And Smitty got his contract a couple years later or a year later, and they gave Smitty a $25 million deal, basically averaging 25 a year.
Right.
And remember the conversation around his contract was, damn, Smitty, you could have gotten way more from the Eagles. You know, it seemed like you settled. And his whole thought process was, I don't watch other men pockets. Because remember, that's the offseason. Jalen Waddle got paid. Tyreek got that big extension. Who else got paid? Calvin Ridley got paid. It was a lot of receivers getting crazy money. Justin Jefferson, I think he got extended. CeeDee Lamb got paid later on, but nonetheless, he got paid. It was a Christian Kirk, I think, got a big contract. It was crazy. But a lot of guys had got paid. And Smitty, I think Jalen Waddle had got like 28. And Smitty was like, I'm cool with 25. Like, I don't watch other man pockets, and my contract worked for me.
Right.
But then all of a sudden, AJ gets an extension. He get a pay bump from $25 million, which is what Smitty was making, to like $30 million.
Yeah.
So in theory, it almost like once he saw what Smitty was getting, and we don't know this for sure, but you have agents who see this stuff and they have conversations. That's another thing too. Maybe the player not having the conversation, but the agent say, hey, listen, your counterpart has got 25. You know you can wipe.
But AJ, but I think AJ was like, it was deserving. AJ's extension, I'm not gonna echo it wasn't. He had back-to-back 1,400-yard seasons, I think, at that time, and back-to-back all pros. So it was hella deserved, you know what I mean, to be amongst the top guys, because that $25 million a year contract when we first got him that's what you get a guy that you still want to keep around. That's like a T. Higgins deal.
Yeah, because he's averaging $32 million a year. So right. 25 for Smitty, 32. They gave AJ $7 more million a year.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But it was just, so I was never mad at that. I was just wondering if you heard of such an article, because I never heard of it. Somebody told me about it. So
no, I didn't. I never heard nothing like that. I ain't gonna lie, that's shiesty if that's the case. But right. I never heard of that, and I tend to believe that AJ and Smitty, their relationship better than that.
I agree. I
tend to believe that. I know AJ is a piece of work in some people's eyes, but I don't think he a flea.
Yeah,
I don't get that from him at all. I just think that he one of them guys where he puts in a lot of work in the offseason, and when he feel like he's not able to showcase that, it get in his head. Because, like you said, most guys are below to be in his situation. Smitty is a guy who has weathered the. I think the person who deserved to argue and complain the most is Smitty.
Why you say that?
Because throughout this dynasty, or well, let me not say dynasty, but throughout this rise of the Philadelphia Eagles over the past 4 years, who has sacrificed the most on this offense?
Smitty. He sacrificed money. He sacrificed targets. He sacrificed just incompetent shit, man.
Because think about it, bro. The first 2 years, AJ Brown, right? And Smitty's still getting his numbers. Don't get it twisted, but the AJ Brown factor. Then the past 2 years, the Saquon Barkley factor. He has, in theory, relegated himself to being a number 3 option in his offense for the past 2 seasons. Yeah, and he was drafted here, by the way. He relegated himself to being the second option his first two seasons. So, well, the first 2 seasons with AJ. So all I'm trying to say is, like, Devontae, I guess the point I'm trying to make is Devontae has done nothing but be a professional and show up every Sunday and commit himself to the team and never say nothing out of pocket.
I think that shit started to rub off on him this year, though. I start seeing him sitting on the sideline with AJ. They looking at the tablet, the body language they start kind of looking like the same person in terms of frustration a little bit. And everybody on that offense should have been frustrated. Everybody should have been frustrated. So I don't think frustration is a problem. How it manifests is the problem, right? I think everybody. I think I saw Saquon frustrated. I saw everybody frustrated. I don't expect Devontae, or I didn't expect Devontae to not be frustrated. But how did it look? How did it come off? How did he conduct himself? One time Smitty came out and said, "Hey, listen, I mean, AJ said what he said, and I don't think we see it that differently." That's the furthest he went. Yeah, and they shouldn't see it that differently, man. The offense was ass.
Terrible.
And Kevin Patullo is now out the building. You now have an army around these guys who I believe that Sean Mannion and this staff that's coming in, when they went for this job, they convinced that they can change things with AJ Brown being a part of the picture. With AJ Brown being a part of the picture.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I think that's more of the focus of where we're going. But, you know, a bigger concern from me from these offseason is just some of the other names that I've been hearing possibly being implicated in packages for other players. Like we talked about Jalen Carter a little bit this week in terms of, you know what I mean, a guy of interest that they were supposedly putting on a trading block.
No.
We talked about Nolan Smith. You know what I mean? We talked about.
I can believe that. I can believe that though.
I can believe that. I can believe that.
Not the JC one. No.
I can believe that one. But you know, it's just when things are like this, when you have a Super Bowl window, you got legit chess pieces out here, man. You legit got some chess pieces out here that's on rookie deals that you can get a lot of value out of. You know what I mean? You could have packaged Nolan Smith, you know what I mean, in the first and probably got Max Crosby. You could have probably got Max Crosby if you sent goddamn Tanner McKee and Nolan Smith in a second. You probably could have made that happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I feel like you probably could have made that happen, but you know, at the end of the day, man, Howie Roseman is going to pursue the value. Howie Roseman is not letting AJ Brown walk out of here for nothing, man. After he done paid him and all of that. AJ, oh dog, you're a Super Bowl champion. You're all pro, all of this shit, bro. You got your money. I just don't see why, man. I don't see why we here.
It is what it is.
That's it. And life will be okay without him.
Because I trust. First of all, we've seen how we build this roster, for one. And I trust his ability to identify the talent, especially at this point. But I want to key in on the Sean Mannion angle of this because you've completely overhauled this offensive staff completely. And we knew Kevin Patullo was a problem, but we knew he wasn't the fullest extent of their problems. You get what I'm saying? Like we knew that their problems went beyond him. I think Kevin Patullo was terrible. I also think that offensive line was terrible. And I also feel like there was inconsistencies all across the board from the entire offense. And I just saw a team that looked flatlined way too often. So I don't think removing Kevin Patullo alone would have fixed their issues. I respect Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie for saying we're not just going to remove one guy and think all our problems are going to be solved and answered. As much as I love Jeff Stoutland, he got aware of part of what happened last year.
He do.
Because he's the run game coordinator. And we know how talented those guys are. We know they was a little banged up too. And I always make the argument that, you know, people always love to say the 2,000-yard seasons hurt the running back. I think people don't talk enough about what those 2,000-yard seasons do to the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that 2,000-yard season did more damage to that offensive line than it did Saquon Barkley, because I saw Saquon Barkley making chicken salad out of chicken shit way too often this season.
Way too often. For him to get 1,000 yards was remarkable to me, and stay as healthy as he stayed, but getting hit in the backfield as much.
Bro, my man was dodging. My man had to turn into Neo in the backfield, dodging bullets in the backfield. But soon as he hit the front line, 2 bullets coming his way. He got to dodge those right away. He can't even plant his feet. So I think you remove Kevin Patullo, right? But then they say, you know what? No, we need a complete shift in how we're approaching this thing called offense.
Right.
That's where you bring in Sean Mannion, but you also cut ties with your pass game coordinator, your quarterback coach, right? You bring in Josh Grizzard to be a pass game coordinator. You bring in Gerard Johnson to be your quarterback coach, right? Gerard Johnson and Sean Mannion are former quarterbacks, played in college. And they were NFL pros. Josh Grizzard has experience calling that Tampa Bay offense, right? And we saw what he was able to do. I think he got an unfair shake though last season because that Tampa Bay offense had injuries all across the board. Mike Evans was gone for most of the year. Chris Godwin was gone for most of the year. Had injuries at running back, injuries on the offensive line. I think he'd get a fair shake in calling that offense, and I'm surprised they were as productive as they were nonetheless. So I think about the coaching staff and what they were trying to accomplish and what Howie and the guys are trying to accomplish here, bringing them together. What's your thoughts on what this offense could potentially be? How you think guys should be used in comparison to what we've been experiencing the past few years?
I think the sky is the limit for this coaching staff. So ultimately what we're seeing with the coaching staff is the Philadelphia Eagles front office is letting this new coach and Sean Mannion run his offense. That's why you see all of these guys coming in after Sean Mannion, because Nick Sirianni doesn't have anything to do with what's going on. This is a whole new regime, and when you look at what they did in Green Bay last year with the power running, and like the style of run that they had, Saquon Barkley in those type of situations can probably be challenging another 2,000-yard season. The play action, having Jalen Hurts under the center more, the naked bootlegs and stuff that Jordan Love was running, Jalen Hurts just hasn't had that. He hasn't had that. Running back screens have not been a part of our DNA. When these guys are out here throwing for 4,500 yards and stuff like that, they got a bag of tricks. Dumping it off to the running back. That counts for a quarterback's passing yards. When you throw a 5-yard pass to a running back and this running back turns it for 30 yards, that quarterback got a 30-yard completion on that play. So I think the sky's the limit, man. The running across the field, the different route patterns. They have a wide receiver by committee in Green Bay. And those guys were pretty decent through the air because the quarterback was in position to throw some pretty interesting routes and some pretty interesting concepts. So I think this offense is going to be way better than what it was last year. If you keep A.J. Brown this season, Jalen Hurts is going to throw 4,000 yards. He's going to throw 4,000 yards if you keep A.J. Brown this season.
Yeah, and it's I think the connection I see, or what I liked from the hire is, again, the guy's young, and overall you have to put in perspective that his rise to this position has come pretty quickly.
Right.
He's 33 years old. Spent 5 years at Oregon State as a quarterback. Had like a 10 or 11-year NFL career as a backup. He's been coached by guys like Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur, Zach Taylor, Gary Kubiak, Clint Kubiak, Kevin Stefanski, Dave Canales. And Dave Canales, he's the head coach for the Panthers. We saw what he did with them. Grant Udinski, he's the OC for the Jags, and we saw the Jags offense look crazy this year. Overall, this guy Sean Mannion and Matt LaFleur spoke highly of him. I think Sean Mannion was in the running for a Chicago job, and LaFleur told him, "Listen, whatever happened with that situation, you got a job here because I want you." And that's how he became the quarterback coach for the
Packers.
Yeah, Packers. Well, offensive assistant first, then quarterback coach, and now with OC. But this guy's been around some pretty smart people, and he's been able to see some of the most prolific offenses work in this league, a la Sean McVay. And there is a connection between all these guys, the Kyle Shanahans, the Sean McVays, the Matt LaFleurs. All these guys are connected in that way, the Liam Cohens, right? So you got a guy who's seen the NFL evolve from an offense perspective, and he's been able to see some of the most prolific offenses go to work. I think this guy has a plan. Whether or not he executes is going to be really interesting. But I think overall, you got to say to yourself, the Eagles, when they built this new coaching staff, you got to respect that there's an angle here. They're trying to somehow create their version of that, like you said, that zone read, zone run game. They're trying to create their own version of what Kyle Shanahan has done with the 49ers. Now,
and I like it, man. I like
it. And I'm not mad at it either. I like it too. I think, especially with the talent you have. I don't think Saquon Barkley lost a step at all. If anything, he showed me that, damn, he's doing way more heavy lifting than he need to be doing.
I agree. And another thing, we got to stop undervaluing. A lot of people are like, oh, it's the last pick in the first round. The 31st pick in the draft is a great fucking pick. Like, I would take that. A first round pick is a first round pick. Like, I would definitely take the 31st pick in this year's draft for AJ Brown with other picks and other players. I would take that. Nolan Smith was picked in the 30s.
Yeah, that's true.
AJ Brown was a second round pick.
Yeah,
what
Lamar Jackson was a 31st or 32nd.
Yeah.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
You know how many people generally always slide? Great players, top 15 guys. Hell yeah, I'm taking that pick, man.
And also, look, again,
nobody don't want that pick. Y'all bugging.
You know, I'm on the record saying that the 31st pick doesn't entice me like a pick that's in the teens, but also you got to be realistic as well, right? I think the optimum situation for me is to get a better pick than the 31st pick for AJ Brown. That's optimal, right?
Yeah.
But realistically, if this is a guy that you really believe is as disgruntled as it's made to seem, what can you get for him? If you can get a first round pick, a second, and a player, that is a win. Now, what they do with that pick is going to be, everyone's going to be watching it like a hawk, because people love saying, "Hey, the Eagles traded AJ Brown for whatever player they drafted for," right? And that's going to be a conversation that people watch. And also, Howie Roseman is the type of guy that he's at a point now in his career where he kind of follows the Bill Belichick mantra. I'd rather get rid of a guy a year early than a year too late.
No, I get it, man. I get it. You could trade, you could package that 31st pick and go grab a Drake London, man. I'm high on Drake London, man.
Yeah, I am too. But that money though, that money's gonna be so hard to convince a team to give you their first round pick and pick up that money. You got to find a team who believes they're a piece away. I think the Patriots believe that. And you got to find a team who's willing to who's desperate like that. Like, teams are kind of making their moves when it comes to the receiver position so far already, and this wide receiver draft class I heard is pretty good. So it's gonna come down to, there's not many teams that's even in position to trade for AJ Brown for one. The Patriots, we'll see what they do, and I know the Chargers put their name into the hat. But overall,
I thought the Bills was going to spend that bag. I ain't gonna lie. I thought the Bills were going to give us a first and a second.
I think they got scared off by that first round ask, and they said, "Hey, we could probably get a guy that's good enough because we got a quarterback that does what he does." And that's where the DJ Moore part comes in. I think DJ Moore is really good. I don't think he's AJ Brown good, but I think he's good nonetheless. I think Rome Odunze is showing that he can carry that team from a wide receiver perspective as well. Rome Odunze is really, really good as well. So we'll see, man. We're gonna have to see when it comes to that. But like you said, what more can you ask for if you're AJ Brown? It has to be more than just football.
Yeah, it got to be, man. And if it's a situation to where it's more than football and it's bothering your piece to be a part of the team, then I'm all for that. I'm all for that. But I'm not spending this offseason, with the shenanigans. I ain't gonna do it. Not over here, bro. I'm not gonna spend this offseason with the shenanigans, because if you want to be traded, just man up and request it so everybody know what time it is.
Because you know what happens? If they don't trade him, right? It drags over to the to training camp, and it's going to be a conversation until the trade deadline.
Right. The first interview, hey AJ, how close were you to how close were you to getting traded? That's the first question they're gonna ask him if he stay when they put a camera in his face. How close were you to being traded this offseason? That's a dumbass weird question because it didn't happen. So who cares? I don't know. But this is all unnecessary shit to be talking about, bro, because I'm listen, man, if you don't want to be here, you could go. That's just where I'm at, bro.
Yeah.
Going. You have to say on stage in front of people that you want to be here, bro.
Of course, you don't want to tank your value. You got to say, and that's the thing, right? Everything he's been saying, I mean, all you can do is take his word for it. But at the end of the day, he got to say that. You don't want to come off as, you don't want to make yourself untradeable.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. Has he been conducting himself like somebody that want to be here?
No.
Exactly. So you could go on these shows and say whatever you want to say. But like, I got 2 eyes, bro, and it's the off season now. The dust settled for me. We ain't achieved the ultimate goal. And you ain't been acting like you want to be here, man. That's just me keeping it a bean. So start acting like you want to be here if you do. If not, keep acting like this and we can keep talking about it.
Yeah. And me personally, you going on the Patriots podcast with Edelman and Grunt, like, when they ask you if you're a Patriot, whatever it may be, like you wink, that shit ain't cute to me.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? That shit is weird.
That shit not cute to me personally.
This is he just trolling. No, we gotta stop giving grown ass men passes for shit like this. It's because, like, yo, you talking about an organization that you won the Super Bowl with, organization that paid you twice. Like, why are you had your best
that you've had experienced the career highs with? Yeah, that's why it's also funny too when people say,
you on there winking and shit. Like, why? Why are you doing that? Like we doing you wrong.
Yeah. Like when people say, "Oh yeah, Jalen Hurts holding him back," he's experienced his career highs with AJ Brown. I'm with Jalen Hurts. What are you talking
about? People hate Jalen Hurts, so it's always Jalen holding him back. They don't say about them other guys
at all.
They don't say about them other guys, man. Jalen must be holding the man back who had back-to-back 1,400-yard seasons, all pros, never didn't have 1,000-yard season. How the hell is Jalen Hurts holding this type of production back, bro? What more should he be doing? Should he be out there? Nobody's Jerry Rice. What more should he be doing? He broke Megatron record with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, for what was it, like a consecutive games of 120?
Like 6 straight weeks with 125. Like, people, only Megatron and AJ did that. Jerry Rice ain't even do that,
bro.
So, like, what more do you want?
That's why you got to believe that it's more than football.
He like attention, bro. He like the attention shit too. When Derrick Henry brought it up, oh, AJ coming to the Ravens, that was cute to him too. He was flattered. He like being flattered that people want his services, bro. Like, I ain't with that shit, man. You want to be flattered, bro. They want to be where you at, bro. That should be flattering you.
Yeah, and you ain't
flattered.
Never.
You're a patriot winking me, flattered. Oh, they want me over there, bro. We want you over here too. But you need to understand that everywhere you go, you ain't gonna get what you got here, bro.
Yeah. And you was with the Titans, and you was with the number 1 running back and Derrick Henry, who was getting his, and you was used to you was cool with being. Let me not say he was cool with, but you've been a part of 2 offenses, 2 teams who prioritize the run slightly over the pass, and you've dominated in that case.
Yeah.
So you trying to be and here's another thing too, and he should know this. I'm pretty sure he does. When you passing the ball more, that means you can't run the ball, and you're losing. You're losing. Teams who pass the ball the most, you're losing.
Yeah.
Or you don't got a running game. And typically, if you don't got a running game, you're losing. Simple as that.
I ain't see many teams win a Super Bowl without a running game.
I can't. Right.
I ain't see many teams win a Super Bowl without a running game. So
yeah. So look, guys always perfect example. Who found out the grass ain't greener? Devontae Adams getting traded to the Raiders because he wanted to be with his college teammate Derek Carr, and Derek Carr barely was there while he was there. Injuries and whatever it may be. Then Derek Carr decides to retire. Then he gets sent over to the Rams, and he experienced some good things with the Rams. They made it to the NFC Championship, but regardless, Devontae Adams knows firsthand grass ain't greener. If his ass would have stayed in Green Bay, he would have been there with Jordan Love at the peak of his powers. Jordan Love was coming, but he didn't want to wait for that. Once A-Rod left, he said, all right, I'm going too. Can you imagine if he stayed? Jordan Love, Romeo Dobbs, and with that team they was building?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, who knows? But regardless, the grass is never truly greener, right? And I always respect the Eagles for doing right by guys. Like, even with CJ, right? They traded him to the Houston Texans, a winning situation. Obviously, he didn't stay there, but they did right by him the best they could. Quite frankly, in this situation, get what's best for your team. Fuck where he go. If he leave.
Yeah, I was telling people, man, his ass to be a Cleveland Brown.
If he leave, hey, cool.
You go be a Cleveland Brown.
And I ain't got no regrets because
right. What are we talking about? People talking about what we need to do right by him. Well, no, we need to get our value, bro. We need to get our value, bro. We need to get our value. Why would we do you a favor when you ain't trying to do us no favors. We paid you to be here, bro. You about to be 29 years old, bro. Ain't he 29?
He'll be 29.
I didn't know he was that old.
Yeah. Look, you always got your money. You always got your stats for the most part. You got the All Pros. You got the Super Bowl, right? And forget what the internet says. The city love AJ Brown.
Yeah.
The city love AJ Brown. I ain't never met nobody in real life that say they don't like AJ Brown. Don't let the internet get you fooled. I ain't never met a single person in real life that said they don't like AJ Brown.
I'm a big fan. I love AJ Brown. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't want me, then don't talk to me.
Go ahead and free yourself.
It's that simple. It's that simple.
It's for real. Fantasia told y'all.
It's that simple.
Want me, then don't talk to me.
It's that simple.
It is that simple.
That simple.
Yeah,
I've been looking at it with a magnifying glass. It's that simple.
And I got full confidence Devontae could come in to be a number one. I think he's ready for it.
Yeah, we're not about to beg and blame nobody. Everybody talking about is Nick, is this, is Nick, is Jalen, is this. It's the guys who've been in 2 Super Bowls with him. Like, let's not stop acting like we not who we are. If he don't want to be here, then he don't want to be a part of this organization that has done the most winning. You know what I mean? In the last 4 years. Probably with the exception of who, the Chiefs?
Yeah. Chiefs. San Fran's won a lot of games the past 4 years. But as far as if you add in the Super Bowl and all that kind of stuff, like the Eagles and the Chiefs, they've run this league for the past 4 years for sure. And then at that point, you're throwing San Fran. They won a lot of games. Buffalo's won a lot of games, right?
Right.
So, I mean, look, I wanna ask you about free agency real quick though, because the Eagles, they got some names that they're gonna be losing, and it's some names that people believe they're trying to get back, right? I've been hearing rumors that the Eagles are prioritizing that defensive line, and Howie Roseman made it clear that in the best interest of the team, he says for them, the best thing they can do is extend guys, not try to go find guys in free agency, because you're always going to overpay in free agency. We all know that. But when you pay the guys you got in the building already, the price tag is always lower. So we know Jalen Carter is eligible for an extension. We know Jordan Davis is eligible for an extension. They have to decide by, as a matter of fact, they picked up Jordan Davis' fifth year option last year. So we know what that's going to be. So then you add in the Nolan Smith factor, who they got to decide if they're going to pick up his 5th year option. We know they're going to pick up Jalen Carter's. Jalen Phillips, I'm hearing, is a priority for the Eagles. I liked what he brought. It didn't equate to the sacks for him totally, but I saw what he brought to that defense.
That defensive line was different with him.
That defensive line was different. It was evident.
The defense was different.
Yeah, you saw it. You saw it. And then the emergence of Jalen Hunt last season. What Jalen Hunt did last year, I'm ready. People got mad at me for this, and I'm standing on it right now. I think Jalen Hunt is better than Nolan Smith today.
I would have to agree with that.
Here's why I say that. We know Nolan during the Super Bowl season, 6 sacks in the regular season, or 6.5 sacks in the regular season, 4 in the playoffs. He went crazy in the playoffs in 2024. So 10.5 sacks regular season and playoffs. We know how elite his speed is off the edge, but he has battled injuries. And he didn't really make the impact I expected him to make this year, coming off of the shoulder, right? Or the tricep. So then Jalen Hunt gets more opportunities because no one's gone, right? And then the Eagles were shuffling that edge group a lot all year long. Darius Smith, Azeez Ojulari, Josh Uche, right? They were shuffling that group. BG came back. They were shuffling that group a lot. You want to know who was the most consistent until Jalen Phillips got there? Jalen Hunt.
Yeah, he was getting interceptions and all.
Jalen Hunt led the team in sacks and interceptions. Come on. What are we talking about?
We ain't talking about nothing. What we need to be talking about is the he makes it interesting.
He had more quarterback hits. Peep this. In one season, Jalen Hunt had 24 quarterback hits in 2025. 24 quarterback hits. Nolan Smith, in his 3 years in the NFL, 25 quarterback hits. You mean to tell me Jalen Hunt had the same amount of quarterback hits in one season that Nolan had in 3 years? I'm looking at Jalen Hunt as a guy who brings that same intensity, that same leadership factor as a Nolan Smith, and is better in pass coverage and can get to the quarterback just as well.
Yeah, I would heavily consider trading Nolan Smith because that's a lot of value there still. I would heavily consider it. You can't pay him. You can't pay him. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be because you got to pay Jalen Hunt. You got to pay Quinyon Mitchell. You got to pay Cooper Dejean. I wouldn't be surprised if Nolan Smith is out of here this offseason for real.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. And on top of that, you know, Nakobe Dean, that's done. Nakobe Dean's not coming back here. That's over with. Right. They got too much depth. They got too much depth at that position. They've been loaded up at that position the past couple of years because I think they knew they wasn't going to bring him back. And at that linebacker position, you have Zach Bond, Jahad Campbell, Trotter Jr., Symone Stanley. It stops there. That's talent. Mm-hmm. That's talent.
And I think Trotter showed that he could give you what Nakobe Dean gave you. I think he
was putting pressure on Campbell in the preseason.
I think he showed that last year. Yeah. I think Campbell Campbell could reach another plateau. You got to be done with Nakobe Dean. You have to be done with him. It just is what it is. You got to be done with him, bro. You got too many linebackers.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal talent. I love what Nakobe Dean brings to the team. Don't get it twisted. I think Nakobe Dean and Zach Bond combo was elite.
Yeah.
But Nakobe Dean, the injuries, and on top of that, somebody gonna pay him for his services. Somebody gonna pay him, and it just wouldn't be smart business sense to invest in Nakobe Dean when you know you got a Jalen Carter contract coming up or Jordan Davis contract that's here. You got Quinyon and Coop, 2 first-team All-Pros that you going to pay.
Right, you got to figure out what you're going to do about safety and tight end.
Exactly. Nakobe Dean and even the Nolan Smith contract is not the priority for the Eagles.
It's not.
It's not at all, especially when you factor in the health factor and just where you're getting most of your production from.
I don't know why I think the Eagles are going to work out a deal with Trey Hendrickson.
Really?
I think they're going to work out a deal with Trey Hendrickson. Him being a free agent, I can see the Eagles working out a deal with Trey Hendrickson. It could be like a small 2-year deal. But if you do that, then you can't bring back Jalen Phillips.
Exactly.
You can't bring back Jalen Phillips. So, you know, it's a lot, man. It's a lot that has to happen, but I think we just got to take this would come with it, bro. Everybody can't make it every year.
Exactly. You can't keep everybody, but I think, and let me get your thoughts on this part.
People saying they franchise tag Kyle Pitts.
Oh, yeah, they did do that. I heard they was doing that. That's a good point. I didn't think they was going to do that. I think they was going to let him walk because he barely was a part of the offense. Right. But nonetheless, though, I think for that defense, if you want your defense to function at the level that you wanted to for an extended period of time, I think your core players on that defense, by far, and I'm talking about guys they drafted, right? Their core guys on their defense are Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Quinyon, and Coop. Those 4 players maintain the integrity of your defense. And then at that point,
I think Zach Bond. You got to throw Zach Bond in there.
The reason I didn't is because they didn't draft him. And
okay.
The reason they didn't draft him, and I know he got his money already. And Howie do get funny about players over 30.
Yeah,
he get funny about guys like that. So I'm talking like long term. Now Zach Bond, granted, I think he got more tread on the tires than it looks because he didn't really start getting reps until last season.
Right.
So I think Zach Bond hasn't shown any signs of slowing down.
Yeah, he's fresher than his age says.
Exactly. Sure. But here's where it gets spooky for the Zach Bond part. You know, when it comes to negotiations and contract extensions, the conversations don't start in the final year of that deal. It starts the year before.
Right.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Zach Bond's people is at the table with Howie saying, "Hey, look, you know, my guy still did what he did. He was damn near one of your best. He's damn near your best player on defense again. What we doing? We getting another year out of this. We add two more years on this. But like how he said our best course of action is extending guys to bring some of that pressure off that cat.
Right. So, I would be disappointed if you extended Reed. I don't think Reed is trash at all, but you need a new safety, bro. I just think you need a more athletically. I think you need a guy that's better in coverage, a little better than Reed. Reed can tackle. Reed is a great downhill guy, but I think
he's smart. He's very, smart, very for smart. Sure. But you need a better athlete there.
You need a better athlete there, and I think you're pretty much good, man. Because if Nolan Smith leave and you bring back Jalen Phillips, I can't be mad at that.
Yeah, because you can't have all-stars everywhere.
Yeah, I can't be mad at that. That's still a great rotational front. Mm-hmm. You got your guys D tackle. I'm waiting for Big Boy from Nebraska to start showing a little something. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think you're fine because Moro Ojomo, do we got to do something with that there? Contract wise?
Damn, I didn't even think about him. I didn't even think about Moro Ojomo.
Yeah,
Moro Ojomo.
He was good last year. He was good last year.
Make sure.
It seems like our third guy is always a dog. Like how Milton was.
Well, it's the Milton Williams effect, right? This is what they do. They draft a guy, they develop him, and then over the years they get better, and then they have that pinnacle season, and then they got to figure out whether or not they're gonna keep him. Now, obviously, I think if you didn't follow on Jalen Carter, then it would have been a Jordan Davis, Milton Williams D line. But Jalen Carter fell in your lap in that draft. You got to take him,
right?
So then now, to your point, the Moro Ojomo factor. Moro Ojomo was drafted to be that Milton replacement because they saw the writing on the wall. They're not gonna be able to keep him. Right now, Milton is Moro Ojomo's in the contract year now. I don't think if they pay Jordan Davis and they pay Jalen Carter the way we expect, Moro Ojomo's gone. He's gone.
I agree.
And he deserves to get any amount of money he get. He's going to get paid from somebody. And we saw Milton pick that right where he left off with the Patriots. I'm happy for Milton. I'm happy for Milton Williams. I'm really happy for him. He made doing the money and made it to another Super Bowl. They lost, and it wasn't because of him. So Moro Ojomo, somebody's going to pay that D tackle position because people see the value in it. Those guys are getting wide receiver money now. And for a guy who came to the sport late, I think that's fly for him. But yeah, this is a Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Cooper Dejean, Quinyon Mitchell defense, and everything else you got to fill in around it.
I agree.
Yeah,
I can agree with that.
I think that's all I had. Well, from a draft perspective, what do you think the Eagles are targeting in this draft? I mean,
that's tough, man.
What's your positions a priority?
My positions are priority in this year's draft for the Philadelphia Eagles. I can't even really say. I think right guard is definitely a position of priority for me. I think O-line. I think you need to do some things there. O-line. I think you even need to look at a center as well. Mm-hmm. It seems like we're looking to address a lot of our issues in free agency. I heard about David Njoku. I think that's an upgrade over Dallas Goedert in terms of physical ability. I think Goddard might have him in the IQ advantage, but I think David Njoku would be an upgrade. I can't say wide receiver until I find out what we're going to do with AJ, but I think we will draft a wide receiver in this year's draft because you lost Jahan Dotson, or you will lose Jahan Dotson. So it's a lot of stuff, man. It's a lot of stuff, man. I can see Dotson coming back if you trade AJ Brown.
I don't think so. Here's why. I think you are right where they're going to draft another wide receiver. But if they do get a receiver back in that AJ Brown trade, if that happens, that'll help. But I think, and I'm bullish on this player. I may be on the island with this, but I think Darius Cooper just needs opportunities, yo. I like the way he move out there.
It was kind of at times where he looked like AJ.
I like the way he move out there. I want to see Darius Cooper with more opportunities. Sometimes I know he was an undrafted guy. He's a guy that came from Tarleton State. I get it, y'all. But sometimes you just got to see how a guy moves with the ball in his hand, how he attacks the ball. He not scared of the contact.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't draft a wide receiver because you got Darius Cooper, to be honest.
The angles he caught the ball at in the preseason. Again, I know it's the preseason, but I don't know. The way he was moving out there, I'm like, oh no, he looks like he know what he's doing.
Yeah, I think you still need a bona fide two, and you can put. I still think you still need a bona fide number 2 guy, but Reek Woolen is a guy that I'm looking at in free agency, bro. Because if you can get that other guy opposite of Quinyon, it could be spooky, man.
That's a big
deal.
It
could be spooky, man. The Eagles are in a great position, man. With all the shit that's going on, man, we are right where we're supposed to be for real, for real.
Don't let the mass media, don't let the national media convince you otherwise. There's a lot of teams who are praying just to get to this kind of situation the Eagles are in. Exactly. There's a lot of teams who have no hope and they just desperate. They need everything. And the Eagles, their defense was elite last year still. Offense was anemic from a production standpoint. See, the Eagles at this point, I never feel like they're going to be without talent. For me, it always comes down to execution.
Yeah, we'll never have like a Giants roster or a Vegas roster. We'll never have a roster like that. Jets. We'll never be those guys.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I like where we at though, man. But that's all I had. We can get to the supers. I seen a lot of them coming in early.
Oh yeah, let me pull these up real quick. All right, so where we at? We got Lawallis Pratt with the 999 super chat. He said, "My guys, y'all know I've been waiting on this. Hey, Lawallis, we appreciate you, man. Thank you for the love.
Appreciate you, big dog.
24 Birds with the super chat. Thank you, my guy. He said, respect.
Appreciate you, man. Respect.
All right, let's see what else we got here.
Carter
Boy Fresh. If I don't get my Eagles talk, I got a crazy salute. Thanks for the fix. Hey man, Carter, you crazy, bro. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Philly Mike, he said, "Go Birds, hit that like button." Yes, sir.
I think me and Philly Mike doing something tomorrow.
That's fly.
Around the same time.
Go lock in with that. Lawallis Pratt back again. He said, "If they want them, that's bad. If they want them that bad, then guess what? Pay the price. Plain and simple. But until then, no way I'm coming down with the price. Yeah, no, you don't change your price tag. You hold firm. Hold firm.
Price.
Yeah, and I think also, I don't think the Eagles are as desperate to get rid of him as the media makes it seem.
I don't think so either. I think the Eagles are doing their due diligence. We're gonna throw the bait out there all we want, but it's ultimately us. We got to weigh the options.
Yeah,
a lot of people not gonna eat that money.
Yeah, and also AJ Brown, regardless of what people want to make it seem like, his teammates love him.
Yeah,
and that's what's important to me. Because if he was, and they love to throw this around like it's a frisbee, because it's not. They throw around locker room cancer like it's anything.
Yeah.
And trust me, y'all, we haven't experienced that in quite some time. Trust me. A locker room cancer is like, what's the ball they used to play for the Cowboys? Orlando Scandrick. That's a locker room cancer. So yeah, I think AJ always got a unfair shake when it came to that. His teammates love him. All right, Green Wingman. He says, "I don't care about his social media antics. If Brown's showing the hit decline, get what you can get while he still has value. I don't need an Alshon Jeffrey situation." That's what it comes down to at the end of the day.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, if he's showing a hint of decline, bro, dude, 29, man. If you can get a first and a second for a 29-year-old, bro, you got to take that shit. You'll be a fool, to be honest, bro.
Yeah, and that
the money is a factor, but you'd be a fool not to take that if it came across your desk.
And the Eagles have shown you that they don't care about the money. You know how the Rams were saying F them picks back in the day?
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles don't care about the cap. To them, the cap is an illusion.
Yeah.
So I see what you're saying, Green Women. And also you factor in that knee that I think he be underplaying. I think that knee
it'd be having to get drained like every year.
I think that knee caused more issues than he wanted to admit to us. But that's what you expect from a guy. He getting his money though. He good. He's set for life. 24 Birds back again with another super chat. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. And he tripled up. Matter of fact, shout out to 24 Birds.
24 Birds.
Schoolboy. He says Gonzalez, Coop, and Quinyon sound like a Ford Transit Mad seat belts and straps, man. Super elite talent in the secondary. Hey, listen, man. First of all, the Patriots are giving up Christian Gonzalez.
They might for AJ Brown. They just might.
But here's where it gets tricky, though. Christian Gonzalez got drafted the same year as Jalen Carter, which means he's eligible for an extension. So that would increase. You got to pay Jalen, Carter, Jordan Davis, Quinyon, Cooper DeJean, and Christian Gonzalez.
If they taking the bulk of that hip cap from AJ, it ain't a problem.
That'd be scary though.
It ain't a problem.
That talent is nuts. But and Christian Gonzalez was going crazy in the Super Bowl. He went crazy. Yeah, should have had a couple picks, but it was what it was.
He definitely played his game.
DJ Simo with the $9.99. Thank you, brother. He says a lot of fans acting like scoring X's. LOL. AJ ain't say nothing wrong during the season. He was right about the offense. We all criticize that offense. That being said, if he wants to go, he can. Yeah, simple as that. Simple as that. I don't think AJ told a single lie, but his behavior don't come off as somebody who really want to be here. He talking out of two sides of his face. He's saying everything good, but his body language, his actions doing another thing. So I can't even really form an opinion. It is at this, like I said, it is what it is. Jay the Legend Sports says Eagles should trade AJ in 2027. He's out in his contract then. The price tag might not be as high though.
Right.
Emet Powell with the super chat. If AJ wants stats, then join losers. We'd love to have him, but not with the constant complaining. It's bad for the team, and at some point, no matter how good you are, fans and teammates get tired of it.
That's a fact.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact. I wouldn't be surprised if some people in the locker room, and you know who get tired of people quick, or who got a zero tolerance for bullshit more than any position? Offensive linemen.
Yeah,
they get tired of dudes quick.
They get tired. They either gonna have your back when they always gonna have your back, but they definitely get tired.
Yeah, they ain't got no problem saying when somebody they started leaking oil when Jordan made a lot of. I think he said this last season when he was like, "Listen, it's not the." He said, "Listen, we're not the Philadelphia AJ Browns. We're the Philadelphia Eagles."
That's real.
When he said, I remember when he said that, and that was the first sign I was like, "Oh, okay." Everybody not vibing with that shit.
Yeah, everybody just trying to go out. More than likely, people are trying to go out there and win.
Yeah, and offensive linemen, the way they see it, they doing the hardest job on the field. The way they see it,
right?
So, Justin Long with the super chat says, "Hey fellas, how about this trade for AJ? Send him to Miami, and we get Waddle and the first round pick. Waddle and Smitty with Saquon would be deadly.
It would be, and Waddle actually really loves Smitty.
Yeah, and Waddle's route running is crazy.
Waddle actually really loves Smitty. That was another guy I was thinking about was Waddle too.
Jalen Waddle. What's his health looking like though? How many games he played last year?
He a little on the shorter side, but
yeah, and he be getting banged up. Like
it's definitely he definitely explosive.
Yeah, for sure. Waddle, first 3 years had over 1,000 yards. 2024 played 15 games, 744 yards. 2025. 16 games played, 910 yards. So 2025 was an interesting season because you saw what he was without Tyreek Hill taking that attention from him. Right. And he was as good as 100 targets. Tua was bad, and Tua was bad too. That was a good point too. Yeah, Tua was bad, and Tyreek Hill was dealing with injuries. So I think Jalen Waddle is nice, but he's small.
I'm surprised Tua ain't get released.
I heard they about to. I heard they trying to get rid of him though. We know Kyler Murray getting cut. So
yeah.
All right, let's see here. ASG Market says, remember, Wilson was balling before he got hurt. Potential wide receiver / tight end hybrid. Johnny Wilson was balling. I mean, he had that moment in the preseason, and I don't want to dismiss that because I'm giving credit to Darius Cooper for having a moment too. But
Johnny Wilson was never balling.
I never put him in that same category as balling. He had 3 catches that made us go, whoa. Don't get it twisted.
He missed a wide open catch in the Super Bowl.
But yeah, we've seen more of him to know that he's not in that balling category.
Was he hurt last year? I didn't see really shit from him last year.
He tore his ACL, I think.
Oh,
it's like the second time he had I think it's like the second time he had like a season-ending injury or something like that.
That's who need to be a damn tight end.
Let me see something. So Johnny Wilson, hold on, this is fucking crazy. Johnny Wilson was drafted in the 2024 draft, right? And he didn't play all 2025 because he got hurt. I think he tore his ACL or something like that. He did show signs that his hands got better though. I will say that. But I can't say he was balling. I can't say he was balling, but he's still a young player. He's only 24 years old.
Yeah.
24 with that size and that athleticism. And whenever Tanner McKee threw him that ball, it was just He was I give him credit for showing that he did the work in the offseason, in the preseason. He did that. But then tearing ACL, we don't know where he's gonna be.
That's true.
Fannie Wood says, "Hey, Double Trouble, thoughts on Cade Otton?" Unless I missed it, Cade Otton, and he had tight end.
I think for the Bucks, if I'm not mistaken.
The Bucks, right? Cade Otton came off for a tight end, came off of a decent season, 16 games played.
I'm not opposed to Cade Otton. He's a Dallas Goedert type player.
Yeah, 81 targets, 59 catches, 572 yards. Only had one touchdown though, but I think Cade Otton in the past few years has shown that he's because most people don't realize most tight ends don't get over 1,000 yards. Most of them flirt around that 600 to 800 yard range. Most of them,
right?
And Cade Otton has shown that he can be.
That's what we need.
Mover. He can be a chain mover for sure. Peter Riley says, "Tony LB, keep the great work, my brothers. Appreciate you, man. Thank you."
You already know. Appreciate you.
Relative Time Works, my guy. He says another season already. Wide receiver name to keep in mind: Chris Bell, Louisville. You'll get him the second day as he's coming off an injury. You heard it here first. Relative Time Works, you do be having a crystal ball out, man. I appreciate you.
I'm gonna keep my ear glued to the street for that one.
Andrew Nathan, thank you for the super chat. He says, "I'm drafting the offensive tackle at 23, at pick 23. But if they're gone, I'm drafting McNeil Warren. AJ is worth a 1, 2, and a 4th in my opinion. Using that 1 or 2 in the wide receiver thoughts. I'm not mad at that. But I think they definitely need to pay attention to DB in this draft because Andrew McCool's coming back, and you have no idea where he's going to be. So there's a lot of uncertainty at that safety position. A lot.
True.
So we'll see, man.
We'll see, man. All we could do is see, man. We got a long off season, a draft. We got time, man. We got time.
Yeah, for sure. LB, man, it's been good to be back with you, my guy.
Yes, sir. You already know, man. You already know.
Man. We're gonna get the frequency.
Yeah, we're gonna get it back on track for sure.
For sure, man. Because free agency is right around the corner. I think next week free agency is Monday. Okay. The legal matter of fact, all the important dates coming up for the league. March 9th, legal tampering starts. We're gonna start seeing all these contracts dropping, and then March 12th, 4 p.m. Eastern. That's when the money get to start. That's when they get to sign it out of line. So come Monday, y'all, we're gonna be seeing a lot of stories coming up.
I think we're gonna grab Reek Wolin or Njoku.
Well, I put to your point about that, then especially the tight end angle. They have no tight ends on the contract. None.
Right.
So I have a very low expectation that they're going to draft all tight ends. They're going to sign at least one of them, and then add talent in the draft. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if they draft 2 veterans and draft one, a cheap one, and then maybe go for the Njoku guy. So, we're definitely going to see how the thing turns out. But they got some needs. Don't get it twisted. Tight end is a need. I think they need to add to their offensive line. We need to see what Miles Hinton and Cameron Williams and Drew Kendall turn into. Right. They need help in the DB room, in particular at safety. They need help at CB2, right? I think D-line, they got everybody in the house already. They just got to find a way to keep them. Keep your eye on the Jalen Phillips angle. Linebacker, I think they're fine. You still got Vic Fangio doing his thing. I wouldn't be surprised if they draft a wide receiver. So
we'll see. Yeah,
it's a lot.
Next week, to say the least, next week is going to be a lot of videos coming out from some of your favorite Eagle content creators.
Yeah, and we're going to have a lot of clarity after next week too.
Exactly.
A lot more clarity. So on that note, y'all know the vibes, y'all know the energy. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Laura Brunson. Make sure you are subscribed to Chalk It Up Sports. Shout out to our homegirl, Symone Stanley, doing it big.
Real
big. Yeah, she's a globetrotter. You feel me? She does phenomenal work, you guys, and we love and cherish her over here at the Linc Up. So make sure you guys lock in with her content as well. Keep up with her. Y'all know her vlogs be going crazy. I know she go crazy on TikTok too. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Linc Up YouTube channel. And it's straight like that. He's LB. I'm your guy, Tone DeShields II, and that's the show. We out of here. Fly Eagles fly.